my screen here.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here today. Our next session is going to be with Wichita State University Counseling and Prevention Services. We have Lindsay here as our presenter today. So I will let her go ahead and take over the show. Just as a reminder, there is a chat or a link that will be shared at the end of the session for you to complete for your entry to win those wonderful Shocker Pathway prizes and that possible scholarship in that drawing. Um, if you have questions, please feel free to stick them in the chat, or there will be some time for you to unmute if you so choose towards the end of the session. And I will let you take it away, Lindsay.
All right, awesome. Okay, there. I think I got the right one now. Yes. All right. So
Yay.
hopefully you can see everything.
Yep, you're good.
Perfect. All right. So yes, I am Dr. Lindsay Becker-Fulgham. That is, I always say, a mouthful. Pauline, feel free to call me Lindsay. So today I'll just talk a little bit about Wichita State University's counseling and prevention services. So a lot of times you may hear across campus, we're called CAPS. So that stands for the Counseling and Prevention Services. And I am one of the staff senior psychologists here at CAPS, and I'm also the assessment coordinator. So I kind of help coordinate all of the ADHD, learning disability type of testing that we do at our center. And I'll talk a little bit more about those services in a bit. All right. So just to kind of give an overview of what we are as counseling and prevention services. So we really try to engage in our with our campus, with our community, and we do this by doing not only interventions, so like therapy and counseling, where I think a lot of students think about, but we're also really involved in the prevention part of campus mental health awareness as well. And so we do a lot of different campaigns and outreach and prevention trainings and workshops to help promote mental health across campus. We also offer a variety of different services. So this would include therapy. We have individual therapy, we have couples therapy, group therapy. We do consultation with different departments and organizations, faculty across the university. As I mentioned, psychological assessments, so ADHD testing, learning disability testing, and then we do an abundance of different types of trainings and community outreach as well. So going even above and outside of the university. So regarding our therapy services, I mentioned this a little bit, but we do individuals, we do couples. For couples therapy, I know a lot of students ask, like, what does that entail? We really just need one student part of that couple. So both don't need to be students. So as long as one of you is a student, we can do couples therapy. And then we also have a lot of different types of group therapy that is also available for enrolled WSU students. And the other kind of piece that I like to talk about that I think sometimes students don't realize is the confidentiality piece. And so what that really means is that we are a confidential source on campus. The only times that we would have to break confidentiality are if someone is at risk to themselves or somebody else, or if a child, older adult, someone that's disabled is being treated poorly, we may have to break confidentiality. But we are a confidential resource on campus, and so what that means is, even I know a lot of students are worried maybe about parents or about even their partners or someone in their family knowing or being billed. We keep everything in house, and that is not something that they would be privy to. We also have very affordable services. It's not listed on here, but by affordable, we're meaning our sessions are $10 for students. That being said, we do offer a sliding scale fee as well. And so, and what that means again is like no students are going to be turned away for inability to pay. And I'm not sure if that's always, well advertised across campus. And so I like to highlight that, we really want to work with students, and we're not going to turn anyone away because of financial needs. Um, we are also been since COVID 100% telehealth. So all of our individual, couples, group therapy, all of that has been telehealth. We moved into that pretty quickly. I will say we're doing a little bit of a hybrid for the psychological testing. And then our plan for fall 2021 is to do more of a hybrid. So having some in person again, but also keeping that telehealth as an option. Because we know a lot of our students maybe don't have the access to campus or live off campus, and this is a way to kind of reach everybody and to try to be accommodating. Also, our services are provided by licensed mental health providers, or they're going to be supervised by licensed providers. So that's another kind of unique, awesome thing about CAPS is that we do have a training program where we connect with different departments across campus to try to get training experiences, and with our community. So different um, colleges and universities across Kansas, we try to connect with them as well to provide training. And so everyone's going to be either provided or supervised by a licensed provider. Um, Anyone can schedule an appointment, and our phone number is up here. And then first time clients, we have now added the option of going online, so to wichita.edu/caps to schedule a first time appointment. So if you're a first time student, have never used our services, you can also go online and sign up that way. And then just kind of an overview, all of our licensed and supervised trainees, we offer expert behavioral and mental health consultation as well to campus, and also responses to campus crises as they come about. All right, so I've mentioned a little bit about group therapy. So a lot of students have questions about, what is group therapy? What do we do? So we do offer free group therapy for currently enrolled students. Um, this is a really great way to connect with other students, to work with them in a very collaborative and cooperative way. Um, I think there's something really powerful about being around other students that are struggling with very similar, um, whether it's academic, social, anxiety, or more generalized anxiety, depression, test anxiety, a whole array of different things, is to be able to come together and have some of those conversations. And group therapy is an amazing way to do that. And if you are interested in joining group therapy, you can either ask if you're currently with a counselor and working with them to get involved, or you can also set up a consultation appointment by calling our number as well. So like I said, I am the assessment coordinator. So part of this slide is about some of the services that I help provide. So we offer psychological testing, like I said, for anyone that is interested in getting tested for ADHD. We also do learning disability testing, and this is really good to assist with academic accommodations. So we work pretty closely with Office of Disability Services to really help students that may be struggling in these areas to come up with accommodations and recommendations to help them succeed in the university. And in addition to that, we also offer medication services. So our therapists provide psychiatric referrals, and that's either to the psychiatrist that comes, that visits our site twice a month, or to student health services, primary care providers that also are able to do medication services and referrals. And and the awesome thing about that is student health and CAPS are located in the exact same building. So this was new about a year ago. So we are located in Student Wellness Center, which is in the Y, that's located on campus. All right. And then I'd like to just talk a little bit about different crisis information. I always like to suggest, taking a picture of the slide or putting in the suicide prevention lifeline number in your phone, whether it's for you, whether it's for someone that you might, run across on campus that might be in a crisis, that these are really great options. Um, that being said, we do, as CAPS, offer um, mental health emergencies to students. Um, we we do this during our regular business hours. So that does mean that we are not available 24/7, unfortunately. So we do have some limitations there. So always like calling ahead if possible is helpful to kind of get that triaged and things. But we do see students for crisis. And when I say crisis, I think a lot of times people are maybe a little bit confused about what is crisis as well. So examples of different mental health crises might include safety emergencies. So that might be immediate threat to self or others. It could be a victim of a recent assault, whether that be physical, sexual assault. And this could also be maybe seeing or hearing things that are not real or that other people aren't seeing or hearing. That's really distressing and concerning. And so those are some examples of kind of these crisis appointments where you could walk in and we would find someone to help you and see you for those. Um, and then if it is outside of business hours, that's kind of where the suicide prevention lifeline and text line comes in. This is 24 hours. They are readily available. If you can call, or they have, as you see, this text message option. And so all you would have to do is text home to 741-741. And that is a free service as well. All right. So I had mentioned that we do a lot of the intervention and maybe kind of what you think more of counseling, but we also have this prevention side as well. And so our prevention services are really dedicated to promoting mental wellness overall, as well as preventing suicide, preventing sexual violence, preventing substance abuse, and this is both to campus and in the community. And we actually recently got a grant. I'll talk a little bit about our past suicide prevention grant that has really led to, I think, you can kind of see these suspender shirts that you might see across campus. But also, we have recently obtained a new grant, and that's really kind of, we're pushing this initiative for preventing sexual violence. So our prevention services, you can kind of see the Prevention Services Advisory Board up here, everyone that serves. This is a cross departmental partnership to really help prevention efforts across campus. We also have prevention ambassadors. So this is a group of students that help the prevention services out and are really committed to mental wellness on campus through peer education. And so this is a new service that we've kind of got up and running in the last few years and is is very awesome that we can include students to, help promote this mental wellness as well. And across campus on our website, you might see our hashtag WSU We Support You, our prevention program. That's kind of how we represent ourselves at WSU. And we also have a community outreach, which is just We Support You, Suspenders for Hope. And if you are interested in more of the different prevention services that we do provide, that is just wichita.edu/prevention. So I'll talk a little bit now about our Suspenders campaign. So this was something that was developed as part of the Sansa Garrett Lee Smith Campus Suicide Prevention Grant from 2015 to 2018. And it was really this multifaceted approach that was designed to change the conversation around mental health and suicide and empower communities to be able to support each other better. And this included this awareness campaign. And so we have these shirts across campus that you can see in the picture here that has WSU, We Support You. The idea is just like suspenders hold our pants and support us, we have suspenders that help support mental wellness. And we've also incorporated this into online training on suicide prevention, how to have these difficult conversations with people across campus, to advocate for a program in mental wellness classroom curriculum. So right now we have wellness cards that some classrooms are utilizing in their curriculum to help promote mental wellness. And then we also train our campus to use what we call the share, ask, support method to help someone in distress. And then recently this year, we have really worked toward bringing the Suspenders for Hope to the community. And so we're really proud that we have been able to partner with Via Christi. So that is one of the hospitals in the Wichita area, and Coles Cares. So now anyone can purchase a shirt and take the online training to become a mental health advocate. And if you're interested in doing that, you can go to suspendersforhope.com. And yeah, and we're continuing to work with partnering with other organizations that are interested in trying to, enhance this mental wellness culture. And we also have some social media presence for our Suspenders for Hope on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So part of prevention is also outreach to our university community. And so we offer a lot of campus updates and wellness tips, along with weekly videos to help support your mental health. If you're interested in kind of following us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Chalkers Caps. And we also have a YouTube station at WSU Caps. We often put in different, like I said, wellness tips. We have right now what we call Keep Calm, Breathe On, which is a mindfulness exercise each Wednesday afternoon. And yeah, we often try to, update campus on our services and like I said, just more generally with, seeing something positive on social media, because that's sadly not always the case right now. And this is also a way to connect with us for different special events. We're often back when we were, more in person, the RSC, and also tried to partnership with other wellness departments. And if you or, a part of a club or a department, you can always request a presentation. And all you have to do with that is go to wichita.edu/prevention request. All right. And then this is just our contact information. So like I said, we are now located at the Steve Clark YMCA. And we are part of what's called WSU Student Wellness Center. And we encompass both student health services and counseling and prevention services. And then we have, like I said, all of the social media and websites here that are available for your interests. Yeah, I thought that was it. So maybe I will go ahead and open this up. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that I can um, answer or provide more clarification information on? I know I threw a lot at you.
Thank you so much. I have a question that
Yeah.
might encourage some other questions. Um, I know that I've heard that WSU Tech has someone over there at sometimes that students can take advantage of that while they're still at WSU Tech. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So right now we have Anna Ray. She is a master's level clinician, and so right now she is doing Zoom appointments. And actually all of us for individual therapy, we're still doing the Zoom appointments. However, she did just update us this week and said that she is looking at in-person services in the upcoming year, coming back to WSU Tech. And in the past, it was like, I think 1 day a week that we would have Anna, or in the past, I think it was Dr. Cynthia Beavers that would come and provide some therapy and group therapy services at WSU Tech. That being said, yeah, we do that because I know that that's convenient for a lot of WSU Tech students. And we provide services for WSU Tech. So you can come to campus as well, and we can provide services that way too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
One other question, is there any limit, like, let's say a student decides to start individual
Mm.
therapy, are there any limits on how many sessions they can schedule, with
We
camps?
Yeah, great question. So we don't have any session limits per se. We do work on a short-term model, and so a lot of times um, a student would come in for an intake, and we would kind of discuss the timeline. So whether that's like 3 or 4 sessions, and then reevaluate and see where we are. And so we have some flexibility there, um, but we do work kind of more on a short-term model.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, Pauline, if you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat or unmute yourself. I'm going to go ahead and stick the link in the chat. Go ahead and fill that out. Yes, lots and lots of info,
Yes.
which is great. We have really great resources here for students. And I would definitely encourage anyone watching this later, if you have questions regarding this presentation or questions for um, really anyone in the Counseling and Prevention Services Center, please give them a call or send them a quick email. And Pauline, if you are good to go and you have that link, feel free to go ahead and jump off. We'll stick around just in case you come up with a question for just another minute or so. Um, please let us know what questions you have. And thank you, Lindsay, for your presentation. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
All right.